everybody, it's me, Bree, and what we're doing, we already got our paint set up and our water, black and white paint, and then on a board. And this is what I'm starting to do, is just work on the white squares first. And the white squares are all finished. If you can see my paper, my angle's kind of a little awkward. This art piece is pretty much my specialty. I work very well in gradient colors and I can shade very well. Blending is pretty easy for me. Now we're gonna go into the black squares. This is probably my favorite part of art, is getting to make the depth of something when it comes out in shading. I love to shade, and that's part of being a realism artist, is you have to shade correctly from light to dark to get the depth of a face. And I shade really well with graphite pencils, and I can do it very well with not acrylic. I'm trying to remember what they're called. Pastels. I can do it really well with those. I've done a few pieces of art. Sorry, dropped you guys. Okay. And just getting finished with this. I'll probably just... So this is what we're going to start with, is getting the white and black squares done. That way we can go in from probably dark to light. You know what they say, start with the dark color first. It makes it easier because you can get rid of the light color, but you can never get rid of the dark color. So we're going to go ahead and do it the black first and work our way down towards the white, and that's how we get the lighter. Well, I guess it didn't make any sense, did it? We're gonna go ahead and go with the white, then to the black, because like I said, you can't fix black, but you can't fix black, but you can always get darker. You can never get lighter. So I guess that's what we're gonna work on, is the white part going this way. Alright, now that we got that, I would say this is like the good perfect brush. I'm sorry, my hand I keep putting my hand there. This is probably the good decent size brush. This is a size This is a size 10 shader, so this would be perfect for you to shade. I should probably get a paper towel, but I don't have one near me. Okay, so now we're going to start with the white, and we're just going to grab some white. We're not going to mix them in here. I mean, that would be good, but I like to do it on paper. It just makes it more come alive better, I guess you could say. So we're going to start at the bottom. We're going to put white at the bottom. on the second square. Okay. Now we can use these empty spaces to get rid of some excess paint. Then we're gonna just take just a dab of black. Just a dab of black. Okay? And then we're just gonna smooth that in. And then we're gonna use our white side. And this is where we kind of just mix the color in. A little bit. Okay. So if you can see that color, it comes into like a light gray, but we're gonna make that even lighter. So we're gonna get our excess paint that we did, and then we're gonna just dab some more of that white to make that gray scale a little bit whiter. So that just got whiter. And we're gonna do this on every second square to make sure that this gray is pretty light. Okay, now we're just gonna keep adding some more white until it's light enough, almost white. Okay. Oh, it's looking almost white. I kind of like that, but we're gonna get a little bit whiter. So just grab as much white paint as you need to kind of like whiten that up. Yeah, it's almost white, just about. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. We're gonna move on to the next. We're gonna take that gray that we just made, any excess gray that we have, we're gonna go ahead and take over, and we're just gonna kind of move it over to this side. Okay, and if we need to, and if that's not wide enough for you, we're gonna go ahead and go over, because that was drying. Now we're gonna take over here, and we're just gonna add just a little bit more black to that side. Okay. All right, now we have enough paint. We can add just a little more dab black, just like that much again. You don't want to go too heavy on the black. Okay, so that makes it a little bit darker. You can see how dark that gray is. We're just going to use the excess paint that we had before and kind of blend it in some more. I left me some room for spaces in case I go over the lines, which is okay. This is just a test. Okay, so that's a little too dark for my liking, if you can see. We got the light showing, there you go. So that gray is a little too dark, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some more white, and we can just add it over to that white side, and we're just gonna go back over the gray. So now that that gray is kind of mixed, I want to take another, I probably want to take a smaller brush that's clean. This is my next one. This is a size 6, and it's just a plain white one, and we're just gonna kind of blend in these colors a little bit. That way we can get a figure of what color we're trying to go for. That's a good, decent kind of gray, but we just want to go a little lighter. Perfect. Now that is a perfect gray of medium. Okay. If you want to see that, there you go. And then we're going to take our white again. Get as much white as you need to. You're going to paint over that, and that's going to combine with the gray you just had. Okay. I mean, we can always go over one more time with the white of that gray scale. There, now I like that gray a little bit better. And that comes into this. And we're just gonna take excess off. Yes, that's our color, so we're gonna add just a little bit more black this time. And this is gonna be on my full brush. And we're just gonna stroke down this square. And it just got a little darker, and I do like that dark for a medium gray. We're gonna take back our lighter gray, and we're just gonna go over that darker gray scale. Okay, that's a good, decent looking gray. It's still a little too dark for me, so we're just gonna add a little bit, just a little bit, like I'm talking like just a little bit of white. Okay, just a little bit to lighten it up. Perfect. That is a perfect looking gray. I'm really into that one. And we're just gonna make sure. Grab this one, and we're just gonna go ahead and mix in our colors. Okay, you can see that got a little darker on my scale. Okay. And now we're just gonna go move on to our next square with that gray, and we're gonna add more white to it. Okay, now that I've added too much white, we're just going to take that off. I'm just going to add just a teensy bit more black again. And we're just going to stroke that back on there. Alright, I am liking this dark gray. That's perfect. It's straight in the middle. Now we're going to take the blending brush, and we're going to blend it in there. Perfect. Now that looks pretty good to me. Now that we're using that dark gray, again, we're going to just mark it over in the next box. We're going to add some more white again. Okay, and it's still pretty dark. So now we're just going to add black again. And it gets darker and darker every time. And this is where that gradient scale comes in. Now it's just a little darker and just how I like it. And we're just going to come in with the blend. Okay, now that is darker. Now that is a darker color and I'm liking it. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the next one. We're gonna go ahead and add white again. We're gonna go really heavy on the black. I guess not too heavy, but I did. Well, yeah, I guess that was a perfect amount of black. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and blend that before that dries. Okay, now we're gonna use, so this is the gray that I used. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and use that black on the other side to blend it in. And we're gonna go really, really heavy on this black. And go ahead and blend that in. Alright, I am done with that scale. This is it for the video, but that is where it comes out to, is my scale from light to dark. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.